All right, the boss gave us 6 months to bring this 1960 Ferrari 250 GT back to life. Basically, turn it from a total wreck to a showroom stunner. When the car rolled in, we did a quick once-over. Man, it's rough. The paint's peeling off evenly, like it's given up. The body's rusted to hell, especially the chassis sides. Yikes. The left front fender's all dented, the right fog light's toast, the grill's warped, the front badge and rear flag are trashed, and the right taillight's just gone. The side badges? Nowhere to be found. And those wheels? The rust is so bad it hurts to look at. Inside, it's even worse. Leather's cracked and falling apart, the steering wheel badge and gear shift knob are missing, no cigarette lighter, and the dashboard's seen better days. The engine bay? Let's just say it's a mess, and I'm betting the engine's got its own laundry list of issues. These are just the things we can see. This is going to be a massive project. No time to waste. Let's start tearing it down. First, the Bodywork team begins taking apart the trim, chrome parts, doors, windows, front and rear hoods, and other components. Check out how thick this paint is. Next, the electrical team takes over, documenting all the electrical components before carefully disconnecting and removing them. You can see the state of the center console. It's a mess. The leather's worn out, and the frame is completely corroded. I get it, but can someone please explain why there's grass inside? Seeing this, you're still telling me this is a Ferrari? The upholstery team steps in to remove all the leather from the interior. It looks like we'll need to replace nearly all of it. One of the key principles we follow when restoring these cars is to repair as new, restore as old. When refreshing the exterior, the main goal is to keep the car as original as possible. We want to bring it back to life, but still preserve its authenticity. Next, the mechanical team enters to remove the engine and chassis components. Look at this V12 engine. Now that's what I call mechanical beauty. And with that, the disassembly is complete. In the next part, we'll focus on stripping the paint and repairing the bodywork. We start by applying the paint stripper and carefully scraping the layers off. No wonder the paint was so thick. It had at least 3 layers. In classic car restoration, the true state of the body is often hidden under layers of paint. After removing most of the paint and filler, we use sandblasting to clean the surface and then apply an epoxy primer to prevent further rust during the repair process. Let's take a closer look at the bodywork. The sides aren't too bad, just some small dents and holes. But flip it over, and wow, the frame's bottom plate is completely destroyed. No time to waste. Let's get to work. Now, we weld temporary support beams onto both sides of the car to prevent deformation while cutting and reshaping the body. The metal sheets are cut to the right size, usually leaving a 2 to 3 centimeter margin for adjustments later. Since the 250 GT is mostly made of iron, we use iron sheets for the body repair to stay true to the original structure. Once the metal sheets are roughly shaped, we cut out the rusty sections of the car and fine-tune the fit. How's this craftsmanship? After the parts are shaped, we replace each one in its proper place. Adjusting the curves and angles to ensure a perfect one-to-one restoration. We then fill in any small gaps, smooth the surfaces, and make further refinements. Finally, we fit the doors, hoods, and chrome pieces and perform the last checks before painting. With that, the bodywork is pretty much done. Take a look at the result. After 8 long months, we've finally restored the car. Let's show it off.